What's up, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me and see me. Give me a thumbs up and just let me know. Let me just make sure um, that you can hear and see me. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, guys. And I'm going to add. All right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, I'm just going to put on my Instagram live real quick to let people know I'm on here. Okay. Let me just get the link here for a second. What's up, everybody? What's going on, guys? Good to see you again. It's been a minute since I've been back. We've been out of the country for the holidays, and now we are back. And we're going to get going in just 1 minute. All right. Let me just put this on here. You got to be kidding me. Oh, here we go again, guys. Just got a notification I can't go live on Instagram again. For those of you that are new here, I wasn't able to go live for 2 years. And I finally was able to go live. And now, once again, I am unable to go live. That is unreal. I wonder why. What am I talking about right now? And how fast is my account growing? I wonder why, guys. This is what we deal with, guys. This is what people like me deal with and have dealt with forever, and it never stops. It never stops. So I'm not surprised at all. But 1 second, because I'm going to let everybody know really quick, because I thought I was going to be able to, but I can't. So just going to let everybody know to get on if they want to talk about this. Hey, what's up, guys? If you are trying to watch this, you're going to have to go on YouTube. I was going to stream it on my Instagram, but apparently I can no longer go live on Instagram. And for those of you guys that have been here forever, you've known that I wasn't able to go live for like 2 years, and then I was finally able to go. Well, now I can't, and I wonder why. Look at what I've been talking about. Look at how much my account has grown and how fast, and that should tell you everything. So if you want to watch this live, if you want to jump in the Q&A after or whatever, you're going to have to go on YouTube and see it there. So we'll see you guys. All right. I'm not surprised at all. But whatever. Here we go. All right. So let's talk about this Venezuela thing, guys. I pinned this comment. You said, "This is all insane, and I believe you are onto something with your take. Something in me thinks Trump is really being blackballed. He wasn't always just plain evil, or maybe he was." So look, here's the thing. Yeah, I know it's fine on X. It'll be fine on X. It'll be fine on YouTube. All those things will be just fine, but it's Instagram is where I'm going to get clapped. So look, here's the reality of the situation. For those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you know that I predicted this. I said, I literally made a post in December 20, or was it December 17th, I believe. I posted that we were going to war with Venezuela. And the reason was for oil. Most people don't know this, but Venezuela literally has the largest oil reserve in the world. Okay, largest in the world. And as far as drugs go, some of you may know this by now. Many of you may not. As far as drugs go, they're not even in the top 10 countries that are responsible for drugs entering the United States of America. Okay, let me say that again. They're not even in the top 10. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll just pull it up right here, and I'll show you guys who's actually the top countries that are responsible for drugs in America. Let's just do this real quick. Which countries are responsible for drugs coming into America? we'll say our most responsible. And we'll say, give me the top 20. Why not? All right, here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick. So let's see, share screen. Okay. Let's do this one. Here we go. All right. Let me add this to the stage. There we go. Okay. Can you guys, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that? Hopefully you can. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to it and read it. All right. So here we go. Top countries responsible for drugs in the United States of America. Number 1, Mexico. Number 2, Colombia. Number 3, China. Number 4, Peru. Number 5, Bolivia. Number 6, Afghanistan. Number 7, India. Number 8, Pakistan. Number 9, Burma, Myanmar. Number 10, Dominican Republic. 11, Panama. 12, Guatemala. 13, El Salvador. 14, Honduras. 15, the Bahamas. 16, Jamaica. 17, Belize. 18, St. Kitts and Nevis. 19, Nicaragua. 20, Ecuador. It's not even in the top 20, guys. It's not even in the top 20. Okay? So Venezuela is not in the top 20 countries responsible for the drugs coming into this country. And yet we're being told that we're going to war on the pretext of drugs, that we're seizing their boats because of drugs, right? Fentanyl has been declared a weapon of mass destruction. And that's why we're going to war with Venezuela. Drugs. Because Maduro is a drug lord. That's why we're going. They're not even in the top 20. So I made a post. I made a couple posts today, actually. Some of you may have seen them. Some of you may not have. But basically, what you need to understand is that this is not for the United States of America. This is for Israel. This is for Israel. Like every other time, it's for Israel. And how do I know that? Well, this is one clear way to know it, okay? Because the reason we've been told we're going to war with them, the reason we've been told we invaded them, took their president overnight without congressional approval, and are now occupying their country is for drugs. But it's not. And they've already come out and said this. They've already come out and said it was for oil. So when I called this out on the 17th of December, I was called crazy. I was told I was wrong. Tucker Carlson said the same thing. He was told he was wrong. When we said it was for Israel, we were told we were wrong. We were told that we're just Jew haters, right? That we're just hating on Israel, that everything's Israel's fault. What are we saying now? All you guys that came at me, what are you saying now? You're pretty quiet. You seem pretty quiet right now. Why is that? Is it maybe because I was right? And by the way, why did I make that post and how did I make that post? Well, I knew, okay, someone, without doxing anybody, somebody that is fairly high up told me that we were boots on the ground already. That was the 17th of December, that we were already there, that we had already done a mission there. So that's why I knew. The public is just finding out right now because, well, let's go into that. Let's talk about why the public's finding out right now. Before I go into that, I just saw somebody throw a super chat in. I really, really appreciate that. You guys know that I don't, Denise, I really appreciate that. You guys know I don't charge for my content. I haven't been able to monetize my platform for years because I am constantly speaking about the things that you're not supposed to speak about every single time. And I don't put a Venmo up. I don't put a freaking Cash App. I'm not asking you guys for charity. But one way that you can support me now, I have the ability finally to monetize my YouTube and my X. So you can subscribe to my X and you can do super chats here on YouTube. If you do a question, I will answer your question and go into it in depth personally in order to thank you for that. And all of the money that I get on here, it all goes towards making this platform bigger, growing my YouTube and getting to the point where I can actually build and get a team and not have to do this all by myself. And right now, some of you guys may know this because you watch all the other ones. Some of you may not, but my monitor is literally on top of a bunch of crates and a cardboard box right now in front of me so that I can do this. Okay. I don't have a team. This is just me. And all of the money that I make through my YouTube and through my X goes towards getting a team and building this out and getting to a point where we can actually, automate this thing. But also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do that. I'm so close to 10,000 subscribers right now, and that is in less than 9 months, which is incredible. And it's all because of you guys. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube yet, please do that. And I really appreciate all you guys' support. I really, really do. Okay. Let's see. Someone said, what a start to 2026. Goodness. I know, man. I'm saying. All right. So let's just break this down. I'm going to break this down as best as I can. There's so many moving parts to this, but I'm going to try my best. So we have officially invaded Venezuela, taken their president overnight. He is now in the States, taking pictures in Nike jumpsuits. I saw the funniest comment on one of the posts that said, "Why do I want Nikes now?" But it really is. It's so funny. We did it all without congressional approval. Not that you need congressional approval, but like it's, generally a good thing to do. And it just kind of sets a precedent that like, hey, this is how things are going to go now. And before I get like too much in the weeds, I really want everybody to understand something. And I said this on my video that I made today. We have been conditioned since we were children. And it's not just us. Like if you're my generation, I believe I'm a millennial. I believe I'm 38 years old. So whatever generation that is, I always forget. There's so many of them. I always forget which one it is. But if you're my age, or if you're younger or older or whatever, it doesn't matter, because for generations we have been conditioned since we were very, very little to believe that there are good guys and bad guys. That in all these situations, in these wars, in these conflicts, there's good guys and bad guys, and they've done it really, really. They've done a really good job of it. Okay, with the superhero movies and with the cartoons and all the different things that they've done since we were very little, multiple generations, right? They have conditioned us to believe that there's always a good guy and a bad guy. And so anytime that these situations arise, most people want to default to who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. What is the right thing and what is the wrong thing? And that is not reality. Reality is not good guys and bad guys. I hate to burst your bubble and I hate to be the guy to have to say it, but that is the reality, okay? Good guys and bad guys are a fictional tale. They are X-Men and Marvel. They are, it's not reality. In situations like this where so many people suffer and will suffer, there are no good guys. It's bad guys and worse guys. And the worst guys are usually not the ones that are involved in the conflict. They're usually not the ones that are directly involved. They're the ones that are pulling the strings of the guys that are directly involved, of the bad guys. They are utilizing the bad guys' intentions and manipulating the bad guys and blackmailing the bad guys and using the bad guys to basically do what they want to do, right? To achieve their goals. And their goals are always money, power, and control, with no exception. That is why these things happen. Okay, so let's just talk for a minute about all the people that are saying that the reason why this is happening is because now Trump and the administration have access to the Dominion voting machines, because Dominion voting machines come out of Venezuela, and there's all that stuff about the 2020 election. There's all the stuff about the Venezuelan election and all that, right? And all the corruption that came from the Dominion voting machines. Now, we all know that's true. I mean, that is true. The Dominion voting machines were used, and they were part of the fraud that happened. But here's the thing, okay? First of all, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it is true. I hope that Trump and his people are literally, like, this whole administration is literally doing this crazy freaking operation behind the scenes, and Hugh is going to be right, and they're actually there to expose all the fraud and put away all the bad guys, and they finally got access to these machines now because they're in Venezuela, and we now control Venezuela because, by the way, we control Venezuela now. Trump himself said it in a press conference. He said, we are going to run Venezuela. We are running the government of Venezuela. By the way, how do we run the government of Venezuela if we can't even run our own government? Someone explain that to me. How is that America first? It's not. Anyway, moving on. So if that's the case, and that's really what's happening, I will be the first to admit I was wrong, and I will be the first to praise Trump for what he's doing. If that's the case, if that's really what's happening, if there's really some secret operation that's happening in the back and it's all in America's benefit to expose the fraud and put all the bad guys away. But until I see complete accountability for the crimes against humanity that have happened over the last few years, and until I see the same energy that we just put into going to this country and removing their president overnight without a single life being lost, okay, extracting their leader without a single life being lost and with nobody knowing it was happening, until I see that energy happening with the people that are guilty of crimes against humanity on our soil, miss me with the Black Ops operations. Miss me with the Q crap. Miss me with the idea that this dude somehow is working behind the scenes on some massive operation that's going to put us in a better situation, that Israel is being saved for last. I hope it's right. I hope I'm wrong. But so far, I haven't been. So far, I've called it every single time. And because of that, now I'm banned from going live on Instagram. And who knows what's coming down the pipe, man? Who knows what's coming down the pipe with all the anti-Semitism crackdown that they're going to have on censorship? I've already said the anti-Semitism crackdown, it's going to make COVID censorship look like child's play. Those stickers are going to pop up. And instead of the stickers bringing you to this massive long landing page about all the safety and the effectiveness of the vaccines and all the misinformation about the COVID virus and all of the other crap that we dealt with for years, right? Instead of that, it's going to bring you to a landing page that's going to tell you the person you're watching right now is not a credible source because all they do is spread anti-Semitism and they're a Jew hater and they're just anti-American. And if it really does what a lot of these other people are doing, like the freaking Mark Levins and Randy Fines and all these other psychos that are getting a stage at these crazy Israel conferences, they're going to tell you that the people you're following are actually evil. That label is going to be put on them. They're going to call us evil. That's what's going to happen. That's the censorship crackdown that's coming. But okay, so we are now in control of Venezuela. We've done this before, guys. All of the accounts out there that are saying, oh, well, but all the people are celebrating, right? I've seen a bunch of accounts now posting, and it's driving me insane because it's a lot of the right. But once again, the right is falling for it just like the left does. I mean, it's two wings of the same bird. We've talked about this. I've showed the video before where they literally say that the bird is Israel, and these are two wings of the same bird. Okay? Go watch my old video where I talked about that. I'm not going to put it up right now. But the fact is, everybody's falling for this, okay? Because the same thing happened in Iraq with Saddam Hussein. All of the people were celebrating in the streets and they were so excited and they were so pumped about the fact that they were now going to be free and that everything was going to be better with the United States coming in, right? That it was now going to be democracy and it was no more of this tyranny and blah, 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 blah. And you can go pull up these videos. They're all celebrating in the streets. They're all making videos about how glad they are and how incredible this is. The same thing's happening right now with Venezuela. How did that turn out for Iraq? How did it turn out for America? How did it turn out for America when we had to put boots on the ground? How many lives were lost? How many American soldiers were killed? How many American soldiers came back and killed themselves because of it? How many people died? And how long did we suffer as a country because of it? How much of our tax dollars went towards it? Because that's what's happening again. Venezuela is Iraq 2.0. It's the exact same playbook. We now have to go in and be boots on the ground and run their government, and we have to deal with all the backlash because everybody that's saying, oh, but they don't have an army. Yeah. You don't think we're going to meet resistance there? You don't think that we're going to meet any kind of resistance? Guys, how did the resistance in the Middle East get created? Do you guys understand how that came to be? How there was so much resistance? Who created it? So once again, we are doing the bidding of another country, this tiny little country in the Middle East that all they ever do is defend themselves. And yet they're the one country you can't talk about, you can't criticize. They get away with genocide. They get away with ethnic cleansing. They get away with atrocities and crimes against humanity. They not only get away with it, then they convince the West that they are the good guys. Through propaganda, through the largest, most expansive, most successful propaganda campaign in modern history, maybe in history. So once again, because of them, we are going to war with another country that we had no business being in war with. This is not our enemy. This is their enemy. I get it. Okay. Once again, I'm going to say this because I said this in my Instagram videos. Multiple things can be true at once. Okay. So many people forget this. And it's because of this whole idea of good guys and bad guys, that if this is happening, this must be happening. No, multiple things can be true at once. So what is Maduro a good guy? No, there's no good guys. It's all bad. They're all bad guys. Maduro's a really bad guy. He did a lot of terrible, horrific things to his country. And because of him, his country is in absolute shambles. And that's the reason why all these people are celebrating, because they think that it's going to change. They think that that we are going to do a regime change and that it's going to make a difference. Just like the people in Iraq thought the same thing. So is it good that we're there? No, it's not. Was he a bad guy? Yes, he was. But why do we as Americans have to be involved in their war? Why do we have to get involved? We've already established it's not because of drugs, guys. We are not there because of drugs. If we were there because of drugs, we would also attack all these other countries. It's not because of drugs. It's because of oil. It's because of oil and trade routes and control of minerals and resources. And coincidentally, Israel is the one that's going to benefit the most from this. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. We are once again doing the bidding of Israel. We are once again going to completely destabilize an entire region because of Israel, the Greater Israel Project. Why? Because the best friend that Israel has ever had in the White House is currently being blackmailed. This is my opinion, just my opinion, okay? He's being blackmailed over and over and over. Now, why do I also say that? Well, let me point something else out, okay? How many of you saw that more Epstein files came out during Christmas? How many of you saw that? Put it in the chat. If you saw that, put it in the chat. If you didn't see it, put it in the chat and tell me you didn't see it. Because I don't think a lot of people saw that, but put it in the chat. Also, Marissa Thompson, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate you. Am I looking to move into Rumble? Absolutely not. Rumble is like the worst platform on the planet. I freaking hate it. I can't stand Rumble. I'm not moving to Rumble. And by the way, Rumble's controlled by the same people, just so you know. There's a reason why the largest conservative Republican Zionist voices get these massive platforms on Rumble. Okay. So, yeah, some of you saw it, some of you didn't, most of you didn't, but Epstein files came out during Christmas. A lot of them. And what's really funny, and this is what I just posted on my Instagram. Somebody figured out that the redactions could actually be copy and pasted and put into a document, and you could see what was being redacted because our government is that stupid. And so all of a sudden now certain things started coming out. Things like this. I'm not going to put it up here. I'm just going to read it, and you guys can go find it if you want. But rather than try to upload it to the computer and then find and pull it up, like, it's just so tedious. So I'm just going to read you the ones that came up. I'm just going to read you a few of the things that came up. Okay. So first of all, Trump's name came up a ton, but this is one of the craziest ones that came out. Okay. I want you guys to listen to this. This is from an email. Just trying to find out the NYPD detective on the FBI sex trafficking task force that called me a couple of weeks ago and spoke to me about some of these issues. How is contact known? He participating regularly in paying money to force me to blank with him, and he was present when my uncle murdered my newborn child and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. Now, that's talking about Trump, okay? According to this document, that's talking about Trump. I'm not going to read the other ones. Just go, all you have to do is just go look for them. But there's this one, for example, I'll just read this last one. It says, Villanueva took back inside and someone told the party that Donald Trump had invited them all to the party at Mar-a-Lago, told Villanueva she wanted to go, but Villanueva told Trump it wasn't that kind of party. It was for prostitutes. So you can go find these. Just go look for them. Just type in Epstein files redacted Trump and in X and it'll all come up. And isn't it interesting that Dan Bongino, if you guys remember, he posted this back when he was trying to leave the first time, right? Because now he's officially resigned. When he tried to resign the first time, he posted this. The director and I are committed to stamping out public corruption and the political weaponization of both law enforcement and intelligence operations. It is a priority for us. But what I have learned in the course of our properly predicated and necessary investigations into these aforementioned matters has shocked me down to my core. We cannot run a republic like this. I'll never be the same after learning what I've learned. So apparently when you search the files, if you search Trump, you got 0 results. But if you search Trump with the space at the end, you got over 600 results. These are the files that dropped, right? And then, if you guys weren't paying attention to this, over the holidays, they had government employees that were working around the clock, according to Owen Schroyer, he reported this, that were deleting files. And then people started noticing all these files from Trump were missing, that were there at one point, and now they're not. Again, this is allegedly, okay? This is I saw this from other people online. I saw it from other accounts. But it is really interesting to me that all happened. And then all of a sudden, Bibi Netanyahu ends up at the White House having another meeting. Another one. Was this number 6 or number 7 since Trump's been in office? I don't even know. Not only that, he was doing multiple press conferences, multiple podcasts, all over Florida. He spent New Year's with President Trump, right? And how many times did he talk about how Trump was the best friend of Israel in the White House that Israel has ever had? I made a little mashup about it. Go watch it, right? It's just interesting to me that all of that happened and then it just went away. And then Bibi himself, this one I will pull up. Bibi himself, 3 days ago, got up and made this statement. Let me pull this up real quick. This one I will pull up for you. All right. Here we go. So, also, this new Apple update is absolutely ridiculous. I can't stand it. As I'm doing this, once again, guys, reminder, any way you guys can support the show, please subscribe to YouTube if you haven't yet. Please subscribe to my X if you want to support me there. I will post subscriber-only content. And then, obviously, any super chats. If you guys do super chats, I will answer the questions personally. But also, all of that goes towards helping me build this channel. I don't have a team. It's just me. And I really appreciate you guys. All right, let me pull this up real quick. Okay, stop screen, share, video file, boom. All right, guys, watch this.
Had an unbelievable success, and by degrading Iran, which was a first-rate power, now it's a second-rate or third-rate power, they were throwing their weight all over the place, exporting terrorism, not only to every part of the Middle East, but to Venezuela. They're in cahoots with the Maduro regime, you know. They're exporting terrorism to America, to the American hemisphere, and then they want these Hezbollah and Hamas to get their guys into the United States. So Hamas and Iran's and its proxies are a threat not only to us, but to Israel, all America's allies in the Middle East, and to America itself.
So that was 3 days ago. 3 days. Just a coincidence, right? So now, let me tell you what Israel gets out of this, okay? First of all, they get the oil. Second of all, the leader of Venezuela was very anti-Zionist, okay? Maduro talked about Netanyahu literally being the Hitler of today, okay? I'll tell you what, I'll pull this one up too, because why not? If you guys haven't seen this one yet, I'll pull this one up too. Let's see. I got to find the one that's not in Spanish. All right, here we go. We'll watch this one real quick. Okay. So now watch this. Video. Boom. All right, here we go.
¿Quién? ¿Netanyahu a Estados Unidos o Estados Unidos a Netanyahu? Que cada quien saque sus conclusiones. Yo creo que los sionistas gobiernan Estados Unidos. Mandan en la Casa Blanca, en el Congreso, en los medios de comunicación, en las redes. Y el mundo ha reaccionado. La masacre, el genocidio contra el pueblo palestino ha llegado a tal nivel de barbarie, de sangre y de muerte, que el mundo entero ha creado una conciencia hoy por hoy mayor de paz. De paz. El mundo que viene ahora va a ser muy distinto que el mundo que tuvimos antes. Hubo que pasar por este dolor, hubo que pasar por tanta sangre y sufrimiento. Es inaceptable, como lo decía hoy el canciller del Vaticano, Pietro Parolini, es inaceptable lo que se le hace al pueblo palestino.
So again, is Maduro a good guy? Nope, not at all. Was he doing right by his people? Nope, not at all. Did he see through this agenda at the same time of being a bad guy? Yup. Sure seems like he did. So why are we getting involved? Why do we have to suffer because of it? Well, because it's in Israel's interest and we are being blackmailed. Again, in my opinion, allegedly. Okay. Still don't believe me though. Okay. Well, let's hear what the new president of Venezuela has to say.
To thank Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel.
I promise we one day will have a close relationship between Venezuela and Israel.
I myself look forward to visit the State of Israel as soon as we conquer freedom. We will prevail.
And I can announce this, that our government will move our Israeli embassy to Jerusalem.
Can somebody out there tell me what moving the Venezuelan embassy to Jerusalem has anything to do with running the country? Can anyone explain that to me? Anybody explain to me why that would be important? Why? Tell me. Give me a good reason. I'm waiting for it. Just give me one good reason. Yeah, I know the Dexter music is pretty great. Just give me one good reason, okay? You can't. Nobody can. The other thing is this. Going back to Mexico, okay? For those of you that aren't aware of this, once again, Mexico is the top two, okay? The second country that is most responsible for drugs coming into America. And we are not going to war with Mexico. Why? Well, it might be because their leader currently is a staunch Zionist. And many of you may not know this, and you can look this up too. You can fact check me on it. 37 potential presidential candidates were killed leading up to the election in Mexico. There was also massive riots in Mexico when their president was elected. You want to guess what was painted on the walls during the riots? Go look it up. Go look it up and you'll see. So why now? What else is going on right now? What else is happening? Well, you remember everything that happened with the Somalians in Minnesota, right? Most people don't know this either, but that fraud has been going on for years unchecked. It has been allowed for years. At least that's what it seems. My opinion, allegedly, right? It seems like it's been going on for years and nobody said a word about it until it was in our best interest to say something. And so we did. Now, what's really interesting too is the fact that the guy that uncovered it was in Israel along with all those influencers just a few months back. You know, all the influencers that got these news spots and got press pool passes, and now they're in the Pentagon as the 15-year-olds that are now in the press pool in the Pentagon that are telling us about foreign policy and military procedure, you know, those guys, he was with them. Now, I don't think Nick Shirley is one of them. I've never met the guy, but from everything I've seen, I think he's genuinely trying to do what he feels like is right to do. One of the few guys that's actually like just trying to report the truth, but I think he's being used. I think he's being used in a major, major way. And I think he was used to create a massive distraction from everything that's happening. Not only that, Netanyahu and the state of Israel are the only country to recognize Somaliland. Now, for those of you who don't know where Somaliland is, it's in the Horn of Africa. Okay. It's also conveniently in a perfect place to be able to strike Yemen. And Yemen has been one of the only countries that's actually been able to resist Israel with rockets and bombs and things like that, right? They're one of the only ones that's been able to actually stand against Israel. And now conveniently, Israel is building an air base in Somaliland with perfect striking distance to Yemen and the other surrounding countries. Oh, and if you missed this, Trump and the administration just gave him $8.6 billion for fighter jets. Fighter jets, Israeli air base, Yemen. Not to mention the strait there that gives them perfect access to trade. It's a complete, it's just crazy. I don't know how people can look at this and still think, yeah, it's just a bunch of Democrats allowing a bunch of fraud in Minnesota. And yeah, we're just going after a bunch of drug traffickers in Venezuela. This is total America first stuff. Like, it's just wild to me. And now Trump himself has said that we're going to run the country and we're going to keep their oil. It's absolutely for their oil. Okay. Why is it that we didn't attack Iran, guys? Like full on attack them. Why is it? What would happen if we full on attacked Iran? What would happen to oil prices? They would skyrocket. Skyrocket. Okay. That would not be good for America. So now what can happen? Well, we now control the largest oil reserves in the world. You think we're still worried about Iran and skyrocketing oil prices? So what did door did Venezuela just open? Going to war with Iran. And who has wanted to go to war with Iran for literally decades? Who's been talking about it the most? Who has done multiple press conferences in our country about going to war with Iran over weapons of mass destruction, over their nuclear capabilities that they have been building for apparently decades, and they've been close to for apparently decades? Who? That's right. Bibi Netanyahu and Israel. But in case you need the proof, I have this video. Let me pull it up real quick. We'll just watch it, because I know everybody wants the receipts. So here we go. We're going to pull this up. And keep in mind what Bibi just said 3 days ago about Iran.
Stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months. They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
So what is this? Is it just coincidence, guys? Just coincidence? It's just, I mean, for all of you out there that are thinking, oh, all he ever does is talk about Israel now. All he ever does is blame everything on Israel. Give me one reason why we are doing any of the things we're doing right now, if not for Israel. And don't give me the bullcrap about strength through power, strength through aggression, or whatever, peace through strength, whatever it is, peace through strength. That's what it is. Don't give me that. Okay, that's a talking point. That's propaganda that you're spewing because you've been manipulated. That's right out of 1984, guys. War is peace. Is it? Has your life improved? Since this administration has got into power, has your life improved? Because my gas is still $3.50. It still costs over a few $100s every time we go to the grocery store for like not even a full cart of groceries. The housing market is absolutely destroyed. Our economy is like, how's your life as a citizen? Forget all the talking points. Okay? How is your life? How many jobs are we now importing? How many Americans are losing their jobs, and how many jobs are we importing from foreign countries? How is this any of this America first? It's not. It's America second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or last. And I'm sick and tired of it. And now to find out that our tax dollars have not only been used for fraud, but they're being sent to these countries for their military conquest because of the blackmail that they have on our administration. Okay? Because all of these people apparently are freaking diddling kids, and I'm paying my taxes to them. When is enough enough? And then this stuff happens when I call it out weeks ago, and people call me insane for it. And then sure enough, it happens like I said it was going to, and for the reasons I said it was going to. And you still have these conservative asshats that are coming in my comments saying, "Oh, you're just like, oh, I can't take it, guys. I can't." All these conservative idiots that have these massive platforms that people just suck up all the propaganda and just kiss their ass all day long and believe the bullcrap that comes out of their mouth. And then they come at me and say that it's just because I'm not loyal. You're right. I've said this a billion times. I'll say it again. I am not loyal to any government, any leader, any administration. I am politically homeless and damn proud of it, because it is two wings of the same bird. And that bird is not taking care of us. That bird is not working for the American people. It is the same playbook all over again. We are going to war for no reason other than to satisfy the demands of a foreign country that is bloodthirsty for more power, more control, and more money. And you know the worst part about it, and this is what I was trying to get at earlier. The worst part about it is I think, it's my opinion, because of how long I've known that we've actually been in Venezuela. I mean, the first mission happened long before today. It happened weeks ago, and I knew that, and that's why I made the post I made. And the thing that is the worst part about it is I actually think that maybe they were trying to get Trump to do this, and he said no. And that's why all those files came out. And they were like, and I just said this in my video. I don't think I posted it on X yet, but I posted it on Instagram, part 2. In part 2, I literally said, I think that's what happened. I think that maybe Trump was like, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do that. Nope. Done a lot of things you've asked me to do, but I'm not doing that. And yet, here comes the files. And it was just enough. It was just enough to say, you sure about that? Because if we can get this out, what else do we have on you? And then it all went away. Right before Bibi came to the States, came for the meeting, stayed at the White House, did all this press tour, and all this leading up to the actual strike in Venezuela. And Maduro, it all just went away. Nobody's talking about it anymore. Nobody's talking about those files. The only thing you find on those files is now that, it was just more Democrat hoax, more falsified. I mean, they literally said that, I think it was the DOJ that literally came out and said that a lot of the stuff that was found in those wasn't actually true or wasn't factual. You can look this up. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, though. Could it be that it's because he finally said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And they said, okay, cool, we'll make it go away. But don't step out of line again. The amount of warnings that Netanyahu gave to Venezuela, right? Remember that? The amount of warnings that he's given to us, remember? And still people can't believe that this is a possibility. Again, give me a reason why we're doing it for us. Give me a way that it benefits us. Because all I'm seeing is that it's going to put us in further conflict. It gets us in even hotter water with some massive players on this chessboard. Okay. It does more of Israel's bidding. It makes us look even worse on the international stage. People already hate us because we've aligned so much with Israel and their insanity, right? It forces us to pay more and more of our tax dollars to not improve our lives or our country, but to go to wars and go to all these other countries. And now our country has to run another country when we can't even run our own. And we all just think this is going to go fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine. We're good. Definitely seems like this is just more Zionist agenda, and we are being forced to fall in line more and more and more and more and more. The best friend that the best friend of Israel that's ever been in the White House, or however he puts it. But you guys tell me, what do you think? What do you think? Someone said Putin knew. Listen, once again, I saw Ricky HD. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, make sure you go follow Ricky. Tell him I sent you. Ricky's a great follow, and he's awesome. And the amount of things the dude's done too, by the way, is insane, like ridiculous. I mean, the accolades go on. He just did a video where he talked about all the things that he's done and all the things he's been. It's freaking wild because most people just think he's like some influencer or something. But anyway, what he said was he brought up Putin. And he said, look, I don't think Putin's a good guy. Neither do I. I think Putin's a bad guy. They're all bad guys. Okay. Keep that in mind as I say this. But he said, what would it look like if Putin was was America's ally? Russia doesn't require any money from us. Russia doesn't require any reason. And like, they're not sucking us dry. We don't have to pay for their insurance. We don't have to pay for their healthcare or their schooling, right? They're not getting us involved in all these other wars. It's just an interesting thing to think about. Ricky wasn't like totally wrong by saying, what if? And man, if you go listen to some of his videos, some of his interviews, I already know people are going to chop this up and say that I'm some like Putin admirer or whatever. I don't really care because that's not the case at all. They're all bad guys. But it is interesting to consider, what if we were, what if that was our ally instead? And it also just so happens that Putin is not a Zionist, that Putin's very against what Netanyahu's doing. Isn't that weird? Isn't that really weird? Oh, and by the way, the one thing we haven't even touched yet is the fact that Venezuela was one of the very few countries left that isn't controlled. And here's the big one, guys. They were not controlled by the central banking system. But it's just a conspiracy, right? That's just a conspiracy. Of course. How many other countries have been overthrown because they weren't controlled by the banking system? Remember when I said there's bad guys and there's worse guys? The worst guys control the banking system, guys. That's what the worst guys are doing. The worst guys are controlling the money. And everything comes down to money. Everything. It's the same reason why I don't believe that some crazy operations going on in the background with Trump. It's the same reason I don't believe that. Because everything comes down to money. What would that get us money? How would that make us money? It wouldn't. It wouldn't. It would get justice, right? Like if we were actually going in to get the Dominion voting machines and prove that the fraud was real in 2020 and blah, 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 it would get justice. But so far, this administration and these people have not proved to me that they want justice for any of the crimes that have been committed over the last few years. Not in any way, shape, or form have they proven that to me. Have they proven that to you? I don't think so. Once again, if we're able to do what we just did with Maduro, why are we not putting that same energy into Fauci? Or any of the other people that we know are involved in massive, massive corruption and crimes against humanity? Why not? And for those of you that are like, well, why are we bringing... They just black boxed the vaccine, guys. I don't know if you saw that either. They put the black label or whatever it is on the vaccine. The black label is literally the same thing that they did to the opiates during the opioid crisis, right? So now they have proven that those vaccines are absolutely detrimental to the human beings that took them. And that most of the things that we talked about for years and got shadow banned and censored and deplatformed, and so many doctors lost their licenses and all kinds of other insane, crazy, horrible things that happened to the American people and the world in general for saying those things. Now it's all true. Remember the stuff about the cancers? Remember that? Go ahead, go dig into that. They've now proven that what happens, this was actually on the Sean Kelly show, I believe. He had somebody on that was explaining this. Actually, you know what? I might be able to pull it up. Hold up a second. Let me see if I can pull this one up. In the meantime, guys, put some questions in the chat if you have them. And I really appreciate the super chats, guys. Again, every single penny you guys donate with super chats goes towards making it so I don't have to have milk crates and freaking a cardboard box to hold up my monitor, and I actually can get a team and like really build this out for you and do this more often and much more higher quality. And so please consider helping me that way. Subscribe to my X. That can also help me. And then subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't yet. Let me see if I can find this video. Hang tight. Let me find it, guys. Sorry. I'm not going to be able to. I didn't plan on bringing this up, so that's why That's why this. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry. Let me see if I have it in my downloads. Oops. Okay. Bear with me here. Bear with me, guys. Sorry. Okay. I think I might have it here. Ah, damn it. All right. I know where it is. So let me just get it and I'm going to download it really quick because I know that it's on here. So vaccine, cancer. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Oh, and he's actually, by the way, this guy's actually been speaking for like a long time on this on this topic. Because he actually spoke to Charlie Kirk, believe it or not. All right. I just wish I remembered the guy's name. And then I could pull it up really easy. Ah, sorry, one sec. Oh, no, you know what I did? I reshared it. If you guys are on my Instagram, I reshared it on my Instagram. Also, while I'm looking this up, let me just ask you guys another question. What would Charlie Kirk have thought about all this? Someone said, I don't know how all this works, but yeah, I'm gonna pin this one, okay? Because this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not trying to like grift money off you guys. I don't ask for Cash App. I don't ask for Venmo. I've never charged for any of my content. This is why I'm saying your super chats help, okay? All of the money that I get through super chats or any kind of support with subscriptions on X or any of that stuff will go towards this. Will go towards me not having to do what I'm doing right now. Because I don't have a team and I don't have a homie that can just come and help me at nighttime to do this. Okay. I know a lot of people think that us influencers are just like rolling in the dough. We're not. We're not. We're all fighting to make it work too. And it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of freaking grit. And that's just the reality. So for anybody that's like, you need a team. You need to do this better. Yeah, I know I do. And that's why I'm trying to do this. That's why I'm trying to get a team going. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I found it. Now, that is important. Here we go. Give me a minute. I have to download it and then I have to post it. And yes, if I had somebody here, they could do that for me. But alas, there is nobody here. It is just me. And that is why I asked for you guys' support. So super chats will go towards that support. For those of you who have already done it, I appreciate you very much. All right. And Veronica, you're welcome. Thank you for being grateful. Thank you for the support. And for those of you guys that are being patient, I really appreciate the patience. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay. So watch this video real quick, guys. Thank you for going, Max. You're welcome.
Cell that is important, that kills cancer. 99.9% of oncologists will say, we don't pay any attention to that. Pick up the phone, call any random oncologist, not to shame them, and said, you do a CBC, correct? Yes.
Can you define what a CBC is?
A complete blood count. Just you take a blood and you look for...
Yeah, the blood screen that everyone
Blood
gets.
screen.
Yeah.
For whether you're anemic or not anemic.
Yeah.
People understand that, right? Red blood cells. And you see these red blood cells. And you give chemotherapy and radiation, and you ask, what do you look for? Well, we look to see if you're anemic. So we can give you this drug that Amgen makes called Epogen. We look to see whether your platelets have gone down, so we can give you a platelet transfusion. We look to see whether your neutrophils have gone down so that you don't get an infection called neutropenic fever, so we give you this drug Epogen. Well, the problem is, does red blood cells cure cancer? No. Does platelets cure cancer? No. Does neutrophils kill cancer? No. What kills cancer? The natural killer cells and T cells. So in that CBC, there's a thing called the lymphocytes, correct? Do you look at that? No.
Okay. And here's another one. And this one's important. Watch this one, guys. This one, when I first saw it, freaking blew my mind. But I want you guys to watch this, and I want you to consider what he's saying. Also, I saw that I missed the part in your comment that said sign me up. Brother, if you want to message me, we can talk and see if there's something we can do there. I appreciate it. We'll see what we can work out. But go ahead and shoot me a message and we'll talk about it. All right, here we go. Here's the next file. The same guy, but listen to this.
In our body, a gene called P53 that actually prevents cancer from occurring. Elephants have 8 P53s. That's why elephants don't get cancer.
Wow. Did not know that.
So you could be an elephant and you'd be fine. Guess what COVID does? It knocks down P53.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
And we're about to publish that. Dr. Carlos Cardone and I have done the work. It knocks down P53, and if you have any latency, and so therefore it's what I consider no different from HPV, which causes cancer with the latent period of once you have HPV, 5-10 years. Now we are seeing for the first time in America head and neck cancer from HPV exceeding that of cervical cancer.
Oh.
So I just tweeted about 4 or 5, now 6 patients with head and neck cancer in our clinic. And we're about to start now a randomized trial in head and neck cancer, where we're getting responses 6 out of 6.
So, to recap, the vaccines killed the one thing that supposedly can kill cancer in our bodies. So maybe that's why so many cancers have surfaced since. Maybe that's why there's such a rise in cancer. By the way, I didn't know I was going to go into this tonight. My dad was just diagnosed with cancer. And yes, my dad got the vaccines. And since he's had a lot of issues, and don't get me wrong, he's never been the healthiest person. He's always had issues. He's been overweight most of his life. And he's had a lot of health issues. He doesn't take great care of himself. And do we know that the cancer is linked to that? No. But he didn't have it before. And then he had it after. And the amount of people that have been saying the same thing is crazy. That now they know people that didn't have any cancer, were perfectly healthy, or were at least they at least didn't have cancer, and then they got the vaccines, and then all of a sudden they have cancer. I mean, just go look at the comment sections of some of my posts that I've made about this. Countless people who have been affected by these vaccines. Countless people that were affected by it. And not only were people affected by the vaccines, it was the largest wealth transfer in human history. There are doctors that still have they don't have their license. Their lives are completely destroyed. I forget the one doctor's name. I just watched a video of him. He was one of the guys that got completely blacklisted, and the government sued him for like hundreds of billions of dollars. It's one of the craziest things I've ever heard of. And they sued him on a completely false pretext. I can't even remember. I wish I could remember his name. But, I look at everything that's happening right now, and I don't see America first ever with these people. I don't see it with the administration. I don't see it with Trump. I don't see it with any of the supporters. I don't see it with any of the MAGA crowd. I don't see it with any of the conservative influencers that have these massive voices and these massive platforms. All I see is the same brain dead drivel that they keep spouting about the left and the Democrats and the right versus the left, and just no one seems to care that our country is still in shambles. And everybody seems to gobble up the idea that it's not. How has your life improved if it's not? How has your life improved? How has this administration made your life better as an American? Because that's America first. None of these people are being held accountable for any of the things that they did. None of them. But yet, everybody wants to congratulate the fact that we're going to war again, the fact that we're boots on the ground in another country. By the way, all the people that said, we'll never be boots on the ground, all the people that called us panicans for saying that Iran was a bad idea because we weren't going to be boots on the ground, and all the people that said, if we're boots on the ground, then I'll say something. What are they saying? Go look at them. Go watch the Chad Prathers and the Officer Tatums and the Cam Higbees and all these people that said, oh, we're not boots on the ground. Everybody's freaking out. We're not. What are they saying now? Because now we're boots on the ground. I can already tell you what they're saying. They're gobbling up the same bullcrap that everybody else does. They're saying the same thing. Well, yeah, we're going against the drugs. We're fighting narcotics. All the people in Venezuela are happy about it. Trump's the peace president. Meanwhile, people like me are banned from going live on Instagram. We're censored and deplatformed. Yeah, my stuff is growing right now, but for how long? The truth is not comfortable. The truth does not make a whole lot of money. The truth is not popular. The truth does not make you feel good. The truth doesn't just create this fake outrage. And that's why very few people actually speak the truth. And there's the crazy people like me that do. And it's so much easier to not. Yes, that's who it is. Dr. Napude. Eric Napude. That's the guy. I just saw someone put in the chat. I can't remember the episode for Tucker. Sorry, guys. I just saw somebody else did. Marissa, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. I want to steer others to your channel. Do you mind if I put up a super chat on Ian Carroll, Baronsey? No, absolutely not. No, please do it. Ian Carroll's a good friend of mine. All those guys are friends of mine. Ian Carroll's one of my good friends, though. So yeah, absolutely, please do. That'd be great. Thank you, Marissa. I appreciate you. Ian might even be going live right now. We always go live at the same time. If you're not following all those people she mentioned too, make sure you go follow them, support them in every way. I mean, they've been absolutely awesome. But yeah, please do that. That's great. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Anyway, I didn't get on here to, do a sob story, guys. I appreciate all the support. It is what it is, but I do just want to say, this is truly what I believe is happening. This is my opinion. It's just what I think is happening. I can't see it any other way. I mean, this is just Iraq 2.0, and it's all because of Israel. It's all because they want us to be involved in their freaking wars. They want this greater Israel project more than anything. They need the oil. They need the resources. And we are just blackmailed to hell because unfortunately, most of the people that govern us, lead us, right, seem to be involved in some of the most horrific, disgusting, evil things that a human being could ever be involved in. That's unfortunately the reality. And it comes down to evil versus good versus evil. And it always has been that. It's never changed. It's never not been good versus evil. And that's why it's not hard for me to believe this stuff. It's why it's not hard for me to believe that that's what's happening. Because evil is so strong and so powerful in this world. It just is. And evil has to be that strong. That's part of what I believe is the plan here on earth. I mean, you guys know I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe they have a plan for us. And I believe that this is part of that plan. That evil has to corrupt people. It has to cause opposition. It has to create scenarios where we have to choose to either be part of the evil or follow the good and stand for truth and do what is right. And ultimately, it leads to just following the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I know there's a lot of people on here that may not be religious, but that's just what I believe. That's just my true opinion. And you see a lot of people turning to Christ. And for whatever reason they are, I don't know. Some people are doing it for the right reasons. Some people are maybe doing it for the wrong reasons. But either way, it's being done. Either way, more people are turning to Christ than ever before. I believe it's because the evil is getting so strong. And the only reaction that people who are good, that good people can possibly have, is they will find their way to the light. They will find their way to Christ. Evil will push more and more and more people to good and to the light and to Christ. That's truly what I believe, and that is what's happening right now. You don't have to believe that. It's okay. I don't judge you either. I don't judge anybody. I don't tell you how to live your life. I just live mine the best I can and hope that others are inspired to do the same. I'm not perfect at all. But I'm also not the type of person that will ever bend the knee to anybody but Christ, to anybody but God. Won't happen. That's a lie. I'll bend my knee to my kids and my wife. There are so many people that are showing that they would have bowed to the redcoats if they had the opportunity. There are so many. I want you to just consider this. When you go and listen to some of these other influencers and some of these other media personalities, I want you to just consider who they would have been back then. Who would they have been when everybody was rising up against tyranny? Would they have been the people that were actually out there fighting, that were actually out there putting their lives on the line, putting their families on the line, doing everything they could to save other people selflessly? Or would they have been the people that bent the knee completely? Or even the kind of people that sold that? I mean, think about it. How many movies and how many TV shows have you seen where there's those people that are the traitors, right? That go and sell their entire town out to the British, right? They go and sell their whole town out to the British. And then they get the money and they get the power and they get the land or whatever. And then the British go into those towns and they lock the entire town in the church and burn it to the ground. How many people do you follow that would be that person? Think about that for a minute. How many of these Trump loyalists would do that? We need to get better at recognizing who the enemy is. We need to get better at recognizing the truth over the lies. Wow, that's incredible. Truth Prevail 1. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that super chat. Let me read this. So it's truly us, the people, versus the established order. Trump fooled a lot of us. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. I've bought some of your Patriot gear too. That's awesome. Thank you. And follow you on social media. Sorry to hear about your dad. Christ is King. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. It means the world. Yeah. I mean, this is just where I think we're at. The hard part about this too is like, what can be done, right? What can be done? we need a complete cultural revolution at this point. We need people to stop giving into the propaganda. We need people to start standing for truth, even though it's uncomfortable, and even though it can put you in danger and put you in a compromising situation. That's what we need. We need enough people to do that. We need people to stand up and say, I'm not paying another dime of taxes until it's used to make my life and the people around me's life better. We need people to stand up and hold these people accountable. Enough people to do it. We need the leaders of the country to actually make a difference, if they could. The ones that actually care about this country. We need them to stand up and to actually fight, not just with words, but really fight with the same tactics that these people use against them. And I just don't know if that's possible. I just don't know if that can even happen, because you look at the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world and she was completely ousted. She was one of the biggest Trump loyalists on the planet, and she was still ousted and called a traitor. I don't, I think we're past the point of no return at this point. I think we're on a track that has been preordained. I mean, everything that's happening is very biblical. And that's why I say that I think at this point, the best thing we can do is do everything we can to be the best version of ourselves that we can, and put our families and the people close to us in the best position possible, and support our communities, and because we're not going to vote our way out of this. We're just not. And then aside from that is just get right with God, man. Get right with God. Find Christ. Find good by finding Christ. Preach his gospel. Teach people about the truth when it comes to God, when it comes to fighting evil in this world. Because all the people that are saying revolution, right? Revolution. First of all, none of you who are actually saying that want it. And everybody I've ever talked to that's actually been in combat has said over and over and over, that is the last thing that we want. We don't want it. I don't know about you, okay? And if anybody's watching this and you think I'm a veteran, I'm not a veteran. I'm not. I didn't serve in the military because I don't want to. Okay. And that may be a shock for a lot of you to hear, but I don't want to serve in the military. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to be a soldier. I want to be a husband and a father and a business owner. And I want to live a life pursuing happiness and freedom. I want to create jobs for Americans. I want to create to create anything that I want to. I want to build and create and do the things that we as Americans are supposed to be able to do. I want to have a voice to influence people for good. If I could actually do what I really want to do, I want to give money away for the rest of my life. I know that I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not, like, every single time that I've ever been involved in these like disasters. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen this with North Carolina or Texas, right? The best, most fulfilling thing that I've ever done in my life when it comes to my professional career is raise money and then go give it to people that need it. If I could do that for the rest of my life and just have what me and my family need to have, like, just have all of what we need, and know that my family will never go hungry and never go needing, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would do it in a heartbeat. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my professional career. But I don't want to serve in the military, okay? Because I don't want to fight in a war to line the pockets of politicians and elite assholes that don't care about me or my family or the people that are in those wars. And that is the reality. That is what's really happening. Now, if they come to our shores, I'll be there. I'll be the first in line to fight for our people, to fight for our country. But I'm not going to go to war to fight for someone else's country and someone else's needs. I'm sorry, but it's not, I'm not, that's not what I'm about. I want to be a husband and a father. I don't want to give up my life for some other country and for these elite, evil people that don't care about me or the people that are going to battle, that are going to war, to fight for their oil and their money and their control and their power. And the world is waking up to this, that is really what's happening. I'm grateful for the guys that are serving. I'm grateful for the ones that are making it so I don't have to. That's why I'm so grateful to them for their service. That's why I do everything I can to help and support veterans. But I absolutely don't want to be. I do not want to be. I don't want to serve in the military at all. I want to continue to do what I'm doing now. So hate me for that. I mean, if that makes me a bad person, whatever. I want to serve America. I want to serve people here. I want to serve my family. I want to serve my community. I want to serve the people when they need it the most in this country. We gave over $200,000 to small businesses and families in North Carolina when the government, for the most part, gave most of those people $700. We gave businesses that got $700 20 grand. Not me, my community. I didn't give them any money. My community gave them money through me. When our government didn't step in, we did. That's what I want to do. That's what I believe patriotism is all about. Patriotism isn't about being loyal to your government. It isn't about supporting your government. And believe it or not, it's not even about serving in the military. Are you a patriot if you do? Yeah, absolutely. But that's not what defines you. That's not what determines whether or not you're a patriot. We've been conditioned and manipulated to believe that that's what it is. That's why people hate on me all the time for being patriotic and having a patriotic apparel company and always talking about patriotism, even though I've never served, because they've been manipulated and brainwashed into believing that you have to serve in the military and be completely loyal to the government in order to be a patriot. That's propaganda. That's not what being a patriot is. Being a patriot is loving your people, loving your country, and doing everything you can to support your people and your country. And it's not just America. It's not just American. There's patriots all over the world for their countries. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what America First is. America First is patriotism. And we are not seeing a whole lot of patriotism in America First right now. Oh, I got Lane on here. Lane, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. So, just a quick recap. Invaded Venezuela, took their leader out overnight. Everybody thinks this is a good thing. I personally don't think it is. I personally think this is Iraq 2.0. I believe we are about to destabilize an entire region, all because of Israel, all because of the Zionist agenda and the Greater Israel Project. And the people that stand to gain the most, as always, are the elites. As always are the Zionists. As always is Israel, the oil, Somaliland, the air base, the jets, $8.6 billion. Who knows how many $1 billion that were funneled through Minnesota? The exact perfect people are going to be blamed for it, while the people that are actually guilty of it go completely free and not held accountable for it. And we still don't have the Epstein files. We still don't have all the Epstein files, dude. Anyway, that's what I believe. I'm going to open it up to a little Q&A, and then I'm going to go get some food and go home. But I'll open it up to a Q&A here, guys. If you have any questions, throw them in there. If you throw it in a super chat, I'll dive into it much more I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. This has been awesome. Really, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. You're a voice that should be listened to. Thank you for your content, bravery, and keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Easy Gadgets. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think I've gone through all the other ones. Let's see this. Okay, so this is a question from Veronica. Do you think there will be someone to organize us not paying federal taxes? We have to do it united. I'm so sorry about your father. I hope you can find the right treatment for him. Crisis King. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of stuff online about taxes, and there seems to be a big push right now to not pay taxes. Will someone actually lead that charge? I don't think it can be led by a single person. The only way that is going to work is if literally everyone overnight decides, I'm not paying. That's the only way it'll ever work. Because there are people that are literally in jail for the smallest infractions, while our government, by the way, I don't know if you saw this either, but the Pentagon just failed its eighth audit. Trillions of dollars unaccounted for. So to answer your question, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how any one person could lead that charge. I really don't. Just looking through the rest of these. Let me see. Jared, you got on here again. Super serious. I want to help you make a difference. You have a social media voice. Where I don't. Let's go. I mean, hit me up, man. Hit me up and let's talk about it. Send me a DM on Instagram. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And just put in capital letters, I was just on your YouTube live. Do that, and then I'll search for you and we'll chat. Send me a DM everywhere though. Send me a DM on X too. And yeah, we'll see. All right. What other questions you guys have? Let's see. Let me dive into this real quick. Israel Revenue Service. Yeah, I mean, basically. Let's see. What does it say? A bunch of kids I've worked with that have done their birthright trips are now claiming that they're being taught over there that their birthright goes all the way to Sicily. That's wild. That's freaking crazy, dude. This is actually a good question. I'm going to answer this one. How can you see all of this and still rep the flag? No offense, just being real. That's a good question. It's valid. Because that flag right there, that does not represent the government. That flag doesn't represent politicians. That flag doesn't represent the elite assholes that are stealing money from us and ruling with impunity and freaking robbing us blind and committing all kinds of acts of corruption and getting away with it. That flag doesn't represent them. That flag represents us. That's our flag. The American flag represents the American people. There's a reason why it says we the people. The American flag represents the people that stood up to tyranny in the very beginning and the people that came after that. It doesn't represent the government. It doesn't represent the two-party system. It doesn't represent politics. It doesn't represent Republicans or Democrats or liberals or conservatives. It represents Americans. It represents people that were born in America, that are granted and guaranteed the right to pursue happiness. The American dream. That's what that represents. What should be the American dream. It doesn't represent the government. So how do I rep it? It represents me. It represents you. And it represents all of the good people in this country that actually care about this country and the people in it. That's why. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, guys. Someone said, when you started speaking out, how did your family take it? Even now, knowing how Trump has shifted. My family, so most of my family is fairly on board with things. They're not very outspoken, any of them. But it's funny because there's really only a few that are like still very, very anti me and anti everything I'm doing. Most of them have come around and understand that what I'm doing right now is actually good. And they believe in what I'm saying. And they've actually come to understand that what I've been saying is the truth. My like immediate family, my kids are too young, but my wife has always been very supportive. But my wife also doesn't care as much about this stuff. She doesn't. And honestly, I don't want her to. I don't want my wife to be involved in this stuff as much as I am. I want to be able to be the one that takes the arrows and the one that protects her from having to know all the things that I know and do all the things that I do and be involved in all the things that I am. I want my wife and my kids to just live a life that is happy and joyous and full of freedom and just do everything that they want to do to live the best life they possibly can. That is my goal for my family. So my wife is very supportive. And she does align with me with pretty much every single thing that I say, but she's not outspoken about it. And that's okay. I don't want her to be. And if you guys follow me, you know Maddie, she's the best. I struck gold when I married my wife, and we've been married for over 10 years now, and it's incredible. We continue to choose each other, and she's the best. Let's see. Do you have a Spotify workout playlist? I've been getting back in shape, and we have the same taste in music. Yeah, I do. If you go on actually, you know what? Send me a private message and I will send you my playlist. Normally my playlist is on my VIP channel on Instagram, but I will send it to you for the super chat. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's fire. It's a great playlist. So send me a private message and I will, I'll send you that playlist. Any other questions, guys? Any other comments before I go? And once again, I appreciate all of you guys being here. And I appreciate all the support more than you know. It's not easy doing what I do. It's not. I know a lot of people think it may be. It's not. It's not easy, especially doing it by myself. But I really, really appreciate you guys because you're the ones that make it possible. So thank you so much. Please continue to support my channel. Subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't yet. I'm so close to 10,000 subscribers. And at 10,000, I believe a lot of things change once I hit 10,000. So please subscribe to that. Subscribe to my X if you want to support me there. I will post subscriber-only content. There's currently a bunch of content on there as well. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well, please. I'm not stopping. I'm not going to stop. Let's see. Hey, it's okay if you're late. It's all good. Have you seen? Yeah, have you seen the Venezuelan president call out the leader of Israel for being a fake? Yes, I have. I've seen that, and we've talked a lot about that. We've talked about a lot about that today. Ultimately, what it comes down to is this is being done for Israel. It is not being done for America. There was a massive political trade that happened, and all of these pieces that just fell in place with Venezuela and Somalia and Somaliland and the air base and the Epstein files and just all of this stuff, right? And I will say it again, because it is really interesting to consider, guys. What would Charlie have said about all this? And Charlie, once again, let me remind you, was the most influential person when it came to the youngest generations in this country. What would he be saying right now? All right, let's see. Love that. Barbarian said, when you tear out a man's tongue, you're not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. I love that quote. It's a great one. And it's true. You only silence the people you don't want to speak. And the only reason you don't want them to speak is because they're speaking truth. I mean, that's ultimately the sentiment of that statement. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And that's exactly why you're going to start to see people get censored about this stuff. But it's not going to be COVID. It's going to be freaking anti-Semitism, right? Because now we're all just a bunch of Jew haters, which is the dumbest thing ever. But it's just another one. It's just the same playbook. We've talked about this we can talk about this till we're blue in the face. It's the same labels. It's the same playbook. It's the same bullcrap. All they're doing is finding ways to label people and censor them because they don't want them to speak the truth. That's all that's happening. Okay. All right. I'll answer this question. This is the last one I'll answer, guys, because this is actually really important. So some of you may have seen that a little bit ago, I put out a message that talked about starting a men's group, a men's only group called the Modern Exodus. The idea behind it is we are all going to collectively leave this modern world behind. We are going to be the best versions of ourselves for ourselves, for the people around us, and do everything that I've been talking about on this podcast. And it's going to be a group that is directed by some of the biggest influencers, the biggest voices out there. You're going to get direct access to them. There's going to be courses. There's going to be different channels. It's going to be on a Discord, and there will be social media things, but it's not only social media based. So it is for every man that wants to level up, basically. And this is not just a coaching group either. It is a community that we are going to build, and there will be chapters. I already have started to build out a chapter here where I live with men that will be meeting up with me to get together, to have a fire, to talk about, whatever it may be, their struggles, whatever. It's meant to create a brotherhood in a time that I think we need it more than any time before. I put that out a little while ago. There was a huge response. I will be posting some more stuff about it, mainly on my Instagram and my X. So pay close and my Facebook. Pay close attention. I will be putting out another little survey to be able to get some more feedback, because ultimately we want to build this based on what you need and what you want, not based on what we need and what we want. So pay close attention. I will be putting more information out about that, and definitely be get involved in that, because I believe it's going to change lives, and I believe it's going to actually make a massive difference in this country. It is for men only, though. I know there's a lot of women out there. They're like, we want to be a part. It's for men only. It is nothing against you. It is just, we need to create a brotherhood and create a group where men can be strong and speak out and lead their families and lead their communities and lead this country. So it is for men. Not that you guys can't, not that women are incapable, but it's for men. Simply put, it's for men. Do we all get flags with devil horns? No. All right. With that being said, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Once again, please go subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't yet. Subscribe on my X if you'd like to support me there, or just follow me. Either way, share my content, comment on my content. That always helps, obviously. And I just appreciate you. I didn't even mention my company, officialpatriotgear.com. That's my company. I do patriotic apparel. I make hats like this, and we make some really, really cool stuff. It's not just political merch. It's not just a bunch of statements on a t-shirt to sell low-hanging fruit garbage. It's actually really high-quality stuff. Go check it out, officialpatriotgear.com, and consider supporting me that way. I'll put it up right here so that way people can see it later. Those of you that have the gear, you can obviously back up what I'm saying when I talk about my gear. I mean, it really is, guys. Like it's quality stuff. So yeah, that's how you can support me. And once again, guys, I appreciate all of you. To all of you that did super chats tonight, thank you so much. You guys are the best. And with that being said, I will catch y'all later.